what's up, everyone? I'm Sammer, hanging out with my boys Poppy Latte and Stank.
Shut
You're watching the loose fucking
up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Chicken breast.
All right? No, don't call me fucking chicken breast, bro.
Spicy chicken breast.
You motherfuckers thought I was going to quit? You really thought I was going to quit like these soft-ass fucking Buck fans out here. These fucking soft-ass, delusional, fucking crazy, bougie, bitch-made fucking fans. I mean, what the fuck is going? Did we not just win a Super Bowl? Did we not just win a fucking Super Bowl? Everybody was riding the front office's fucking dick. Pony riding. We brought everybody back. We're going to do it again. We probably win if we don't get injuries. And now, fire them all. What the fuck is going on? Fuck all you soft motherfuckers. Of course I ain't fucking quitting. There goes my goddamn mouse. I don't fuck this shit.
Wow.
Fuck.
Wow.
Do your stupid fucking intro now. Go ahead. Do your fucking intro.
Welcome.
We won the fucking Super Bowl. The fucking Super Bowl. Gotta get my mouse.
Welcome to Loose Cannons podcast. We're hanging out with Trevor of Pro Football Focus. What's up, Trevor? Welcome back to the Loose Cannons, man.
Oh no, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys. I don't have as fiery of an inspiring speech as Poppy Latte did, but I'm glad he set the tone at the show. So I can only imagine what's going to be in store for us over the next whatever it is, 45 minutes, hour, whatever.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's gonna get weird. It always does, Trevor. You know that.
It's that was.
It's already weird.
Knew that
it's already
when
weird.
I accepted the invite to the podcast. So
Yeah.
This show was supposed to be about Carlton Davis and
About
Chris Godwin. Okay, cool. Yeah. Relax, Sully. Calm down. We've already scared the shit out of all the kids in this house. You're fine now. All the Spanish kids are scared. All right, so Trevor, we were going to talk about Chris Godwin's freaking franchise tag, what it does to the Bucs, and if the Bucs could possibly replace Carlton Davis if it comes to that. But before all of that, today was a big day for Deshaun Watson and his legal camp and what it looks like for the Bucs. Now, is it worth the Bucs going after Deshaun Watson? Is it worth what people call mortgaging the future? Can they make it happen? Do they have that connection with the front office between Jason Light and I believe the general manager or one of the guys that works there? Give me the scoop here. What are we looking at? What do Bucs fans have to get excited about, or maybe not, about this Deshaun Watson availability?
Yeah, so I know Bucs fans have been talking about Deshaun Watson for a long time, and look, the takes were all over the place, as you knew that they were going to be today when the news came out that he did not get indicted on the 9 criminal charges that were against him for the sexual assault cases that were kind of brought against him. Now, just because he's not getting indicted on criminal charges doesn't mean that we're totally done with the legal cases with Deshaun Watson. There's still the 22 civil cases that are being brought against him. He's, from the people that I talked to, that's a process that's probably going to go on throughout the summer, probably up until the end of the summer. And so there's still that's involved. The NFL is also going to look into this entire Deshaun Watson timeline, not just the verdict in this case, not just the verdict in the civil cases that are brought against him, but everything. They're going to look at all of this because if you remember Ben Roethlisberger, he was not indicted on his charges back in 2010, but the NFL still suspended him for half a season. It got lowered to 4 games, but they still ended up suspending him. So that's kind of a where we are with Deshaun Watson right now. Is that's the timeline. Yes, he was not indicted on the criminal charges, but it's not like it's okay. We're now totally past it with Deshaun. Let's trade for him. It's all water under the bridge. I mean, like that's definitely not the case. So the NFL could still step in. Teams obviously have to do their due diligence with the entire situation, and it's obviously something that's going to get a lot of media attention. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be talking about it on podcasts and shows and everything like that. But, this is something that I just still want people out there to handle with care, if you will. This situation is still something that's ongoing. The NFL still has to kind of do their own investigation on what happened. Teams will have to do their due diligence on what happened and everything. And so I don't want people to come out and say that like, oh, okay, like everything with Deshaun, like he didn't get indicted on the criminal charges. So like it's all in the past now. That's not the case. And I don't think that's the way that anybody should handle it. But
Trevor.
Yes.
if there's a team that has experience with civil cases.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Before drafting and after drafting.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is Tampa. And Tampa is rumored to be one of those teams because remember, as you guys have probably talked about plenty of times, Deshaun Watson has a no trade clause right now. So he can block wherever Houston might want to trade him that he doesn't want to go to. So essentially, he has all the power in the world. There is nowhere that Houston can trade him to take the quote unquote best offer for them. It really has to be a Deshaun Watson deal. Now, of the 3 teams, well, let's just say this. I think there are 5 teams that get thrown out there as potential landing spots for Watson. Tampa's one of them. Carolina's another. Philadelphia is one. Seattle is one that just kind of became a wild card over the last couple of days, and I think Pittsburgh is another option for him. I don't think he wants to go to Carolina. I think Carolina is an absolute mess. And I know this is a pro Bucs podcast, so Bucs fans are probably like, yeah, Carolina's a mess. But, like, they really are. I think they're split within the building. They don't really know what's going on there. I think Matt Rule wants to get a quarterback no matter what, whether it's a free agent with Deshaun Watson or whether it's at number 6 overall, because, of course, that's going to potentially save his job. I think the front office is thinking a little bit more long-term with it. And so I think that Carolina is kind of a mess. I'm sure Deshaun realizes that as well, so I don't think he's going to waive it for that one. I have been told that he doesn't really have interest in going to Philadelphia because he doesn't want to put Jalen Hurts out of a job. I think him and Jalen Hurts are friends. And so I don't think that he wants to go to Philadelphia because he doesn't want to take that away from Jalen Hurts, especially for as well as Jalen Hurts honestly played last season relative to the talent that he had around him. Seattle, who knows? Obviously, like everyone who's reporting things says that Deshaun's going to think about 3 aspects of the team that he's going to. Head coach, security, and like knowing that a head coach is somebody that he wants to go to, which Pete Carroll, Bruce Arians, Mike Tomlin, I think would fit that bill. An offensive line is something that a lot of people have mentioned that's big on him, which Seattle's offensive line is terrible.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's offensive line is okay, although like they've got some moving parts and there are some guys that are better than others. Tampa, I would have told you like 3 weeks ago they're pretty solid in that camp, but like now with Marpet gone, it's really dicey, especially figure they can't pay Ryan Jensen and Alex Kappa might be the only one that they bring back there. That's a little bit dicey with Tampa. And then defense, obviously Tampa has the defense that Deshaun Watson would want. Seattle, again, does not. And so, like, I know a lot of people have been like, oh, Deshaun going to Seattle. But, like, Seattle doesn't exactly have what Deshaun wants. It's basically, to me, from what I have heard from all of this, is it seems like Pittsburgh and Tampa are the most quote-unquote ideal spots for him. But, again, all of that is to say there are things that still need to get figured out with him, and those things are important. And I don't know if anybody's going to trade for him within the next couple of days. It might happen because that's the NFL. That's how we see it. As long as he's not facing criminal charges, we've seen the NFL look past a lot worse than that. But this is still, I just want to make sure people know, like, this is not this is totally in a past kind of thing. Deshaun is still going to be dealing with a lot of this stuff into the summer, and even though it's going to be hard to indict him on the civil charges because the evidence wasn't strong enough to indict him on the criminal charges, this is still something that was very serious that happened. And the NFL needs to do their due diligence on this. Teams that are interested in him need to do their due diligence on this. They owe it to the fan base. They owe it to the people that support the organization, the city, everything. So that's kind of the 10,000-foot view that I have of the entire Deshaun Watson situation.
Yeah, but Trevor, haven't these teams been doing their due diligence on this? I mean, they were just waiting for this final chip to fall. They've been studying this scenario.
Before you answer, Trevor, they're saying that your volume's a little bit low. Maybe you get close to the mic. I don't know.
I fixed it on my side anyway.
Oh, you fixed it?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
You might want to fix the full screen thing too, Sammer, because it's stupid. Anyways, let me continue. All the other teams, involved, including us, have been doing their due diligence for months and months and months, planning for this potential eventuality. So is there going to be, I know that Deshaun has to do his due diligence, and he's probably been doing the same.
Right.
So,
no,
I mean, you foresee this happening quickly, Trevor?
You are right. You are right. Teams have been obviously paying very close attention to the Deshaun Watson situation. And I think when I say teams doing their due diligence, I think what I mean is I hope they actually are. And they're not just looking at this guy as a quarterback and saying, no, we're good. We're good. People forget about it. It's a quarterback. We'll start winning games, because that's even though that's unfortunately true, it's just not the right attitude to have. So I do think that's what I say when I say that I hope the teams are doing their due diligence on it, because I hope that it's earnest on it, even though they have a bad track record of doing it. To your question of timeline, though, look, I think it moves quick. I would not be surprised if 1 week from today on Friday, Deshaun Watson's on a different team. I really would. And I don't really think that that's the right thing, but this is just how the NFL works. And teams are going to jump all over him because he's a franchise quarterback. He can change your entire winning window, everything. So
what do you mean by that? You say you don't think it's the right thing. What do you mean by that?
I would still, again, like I wish teams would take these things a little bit more seriously, and I wish that they would let the entire thing play out. Like, he still has 22 sexual assault civil cases against him, and those are not going to get worked out until probably the end of the summer, closer to training camp. And I wish the NFL would handle it seriously enough, and teams would handle it seriously enough to kind of give it that time. But that's just not how it works. And so I'm saying what I wish was the case, but I'm also talking and obviously talking with you guys about what's in reality, because a week from now, he could be on Tampa. He could be on the Steelers. He could be with the Seahawks. And that's kind of the timeline that's a lot more realistic.
Yeah, there's no way you invest that kind of money and giving up draft capital and potentially give up starters without doing the due diligence, right? No way the ownership groups, whether it's the Glazers or Carolina or any of those teams, just gloss over that. It could end up being one of the biggest compensation packages ever for a player in the history of the NFL.
Right.
So, but obviously the civil stuff, that could drag out beyond the next 6 months. Some could settle. It could drag on for the next 2 years.
Right. And you are right. You are right. The timeline there is pretty unknown, which is why I think the NFL is going to operate more on a football timeline. I think they're going to, where let's get this guy in the building as soon as we can. Let's understand that we have our quarterback situation settled before the draft, as free agency's going on. I think a lot of teams that are in on Deshaun Watson are going to treat it as part of their free agent plan. And I think that they're going to want to get him in the building sooner rather than later. You get it with coaches, you get with the playbook, you're there for mini camp, you're there for all the voluntary work and all that kinds of stuff. And so that's what I think actually happens, is I think that he's probably going to get dealt within the next week or so.
When you mentioned the Steelers, sorry, Latte. You mentioned the Steelers and you mentioned the Seahawks, and I feel like those two teams are kind of similar to what he was already in Houston. Kind of in the middle of Seattle, especially. No offensive line. They don't seem to have like a direction of what they want to go. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the AFC. I just don't see the Houston Texans holding on so long, and then,
over there.
and then just giving him to an AFC opponent who, they're not like rivals or anything, but I just have this feeling that he doesn't want to go to either of those two places, and plus the AFC connection is just a thing to where it plays into the Bucs' hands. Now, how much of that, like, I know you seem to be like, you want them to wait and whatnot, but when it comes to the compensation of making this deal happen, what do you think it ends up being? What do you think that value could be? We saw what Russ was traded for. We saw what what's his name last year was traded for, Stafford. Is it going to be some crazy type of package like that, or the longer this drags out, the lower the Houston Texans just have to accept?
I think the timing is a big deal, but it's strange because there's a market for him, but again, like, he determines where he goes, right. So it's almost like Houston trying to have holding power over certain teams just straight up isn't going to work. Basically, the only way that Houston turns this into a real bidding war is if Deshaun says that he is going to waive his no trade clause to two separate teams that are actively bidding for him, and then they can get the ball rolling. Because if Deshaun basically goes, yeah, I'm only going to the Steelers. Like if he does his research and he goes, yeah, I'm only going to Tampa, or I'm only going to Pittsburgh. That doesn't really help Houston. And Houston, Nick Caserio, their general manager there, I feel like he's been stubborn before on different things. And so part of me thinks that if Tampa believes, or if the Steelers believe, or if Seattle believes that it's a one-horse race and they just go, we'll give you a first-round pick and we'll give you like 2 first-round picks and that's it for him. Houston might go, all right, no. And they just might like hold on to him. And I don't know what's going on within that Houston organization. But to answer your question, I realistically think that you're probably going to have to give up either a very similar package to what the Seahawks got for Russell Wilson, which is at least 2 firsts, at least 2 seconds, and then good players after that. Or you're probably going to have to get 3 first-round picks involved. I know that 6 months ago-ish, when the Deshaun Watson trade talk was kind of floating around, 3 first-round picks was kind of like the starting point of where they were negotiating with them. And so that's what it's going to take. I mean, there's no doubt about it that you're going full LA Rams after this, basically. Like, you're giving up the right to have premium draft picks over the next 3 seasons. So that is absolutely what it's going to take, because this dude's only 26 years old, and when he played when he was 24, he was lighting the league on fire. So it's not like you're going to get him for that big of a discount at this point.
Trevor, Callie in here said this guy doesn't like Watson. Move on to the next. Guys, I don't think Trevor's saying he doesn't like Watson. He's saying let it play out, right? There's 22 cases. Trevor, I don't think anybody would be naive to think that you don't think from a football standpoint. What's your opinion on, obviously, if we acquire Deshaun Watson, what does that mean for Tampa? I mean, that's...
Yeah, look, I mean, if Deshaun Watson's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and he's fully healthy, I mean, they're favorites to win the NFC South. I mean, they're making the playoffs again. It's not a question. I mean, that's almost a guarantee. And that's what the franchise knows at this point. I mean, like, Bruce Arians knows the magnitude of that. Jason Light knows it. The ownership knows it. Like, they are at a point where Matt Ryan ain't getting any younger. The situation in Carolina is not great. I think they're going to be hiring a whole new head coach next year. So that situation is going to rebuild before it goes up, if you ask me. And then the Saints are in cap hell, and they don't have a quarterback. So like they have Taysom Hill on their roster right now, but they don't want to play Taysom Hill at quarterback, because then if they do, they're paying him like an actual quarterback because of the way that his contract is set up. So all of a sudden, yeah, of course, if Tampa gets Deshaun Watson, not only are they favorites next year, but like they are in the driver's seat for the division for the next 2, 3, 4 years, depending on how fast some of these other teams turn this stuff around. And so it's huge. I mean, it's a huge swing for the franchise. And yeah, it's not that I'm like out on Watson 100%. I want this situation to be handled correctly. These are serious allegations. Anything that involves sexual assault is a serious allegation. 1 case, let alone 22. That's all I'm saying, is that I hope that every party involved, whether it's Tampa's, whether it's the NFL's, whether it's whatever, handles this the way that it should be handled. And if it gets handled correctly, which again, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of faith with, then great. Operate as if you can move forward. But that is all I'm saying.
Yeah, Trevor, the NFL is not the legal system. They can and they will do their own investigation, just like they did with Jameson, the Uber driver.
Right.
It was, there was no criminal charges there either, yet they still suspended him. And that was one allegation. So he still hasn't passed that. I mean, the NFL hasn't come down with any type of.
Oh, he's going to get suspended.
We know that, but yes, the NFL could easily say, "You're getting a year. You're getting,
right.
They are also going to dig into these all of these claims and cases.
Yeah.
So when you're trading for a guy like that, don't you kind of want to know what the NFL is going to do first?
And I think that they're going to, right? I mean, like, whether or not it leaks out to insiders or whether it makes its way onto the Twitter timeline, like Tampa or Pittsburgh or Seattle or whoever, none of them are making this trade if they think he's going to get suspended for a year, or if they are, that's going to go into the compensation with it. They're going, that's going to go into the negotiations. I think he's going to miss half a year. That's what I think. I think that at this point, from what we have seen in the past, unless obviously things change and different things happen with the civil suits that are against him, and the NFL finds other things against Deshaun Watson, I think at a minimum, we're looking at him missing half a year next year. And we will kind of move. I think that's essentially where we are at this point, and things might change accordingly depending on how we go about this over the next, say, 6 months.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't gamble on a football team or something, right? Good thing he didn't do that.
It sounds
that's the moral
that
stuff might play into it too, right? Because the Calvin Ridley stuff is nuts. You look at so many much worse things that players have done that they have been suspended for that have been less than a year. And you just set the precedent with Calvin Ridley that him betting on the league is a year at least. That was in the tweet. They said he's going to miss at least 2023, which is nuts. So that's the precedent you're setting. That to me might spell an even bigger suspension for Deshaun Watson. So I guess, you know what? We don't really know. We don't know. We know he's going to miss time. We just don't know exactly how much.
Yeah, but the optics of that suspension are completely different. That's a PR move to make sure that nobody ever thinks any part of the NFL is rigged or played, by the players in terms of like making sure the outcome is changed. Deshaun Watson has done. Listen, what he did is unspeakable. Whatever.
Criminally.
I'm not saying what he's done is okay. Allegedly, obviously.
Alleged,
but
right.
we have seen plenty of other criminals come back into the NFL. We've seen tons of those guys get second and third and fourth chances. And I'm not saying that Deshaun deserves a second or third or fourth chance. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is that we've seen that kind of stuff be less than a year suspension, whereas what happened to what's his name? The Atlanta wide receiver. Ridley is a bigger thing for the NFL. They're like, oh, we can never, ever, ever have anyone think that anything is rigged or against the user in any way. Right. So that was a bigger thing. They have to do it.
It's like the referee, when the referee in the NBA
was caught,
exactly. It was like, oh my, optically, this is disastrous for the entire
league. It's fucked up, but to the NFL, the optics of that is way more important to them than somebody beating the shit out of their girlfriend or wife in an elevator on a Las Vegas security camera. The stuff that happened to Ray Rice, the stuff that happened, all those things, those guys come back.
I'm going to ask one last question. And I'm talking about this as if it's gone. We can get past the moral stuff. Morally, we all agree it's fucked up, but we can all agree also it's a business and they got to sell tickets and win games. It is what it is, right? Jameis was here for 6 years and it split the fan base up to a certain extent because of shit like that. But just talking about it as if they weren't there, Trevor. You mentioned Pittsburgh. You know way more, from a league standpoint. You said that they were okay, but I would think. I mean, I saw Najee Harris trying to run behind that line. That line is horrible,
garbage.
I mean, we have Donovan, we have Tristan Wirfs. You don't read the battle plans anymore, Trevor. Like John Ledyard had to get a badass center. From I can't remember the name, but
who did he get? Did he have him get Bradley Bozeman? Did he have him?
I believe that's what it was. Yes, for cheap, and then you bring back Kappa, and all of a sudden, hoping
that Bradley Bozeman is just Ryan Jensen 2.0. They signed the free agent from Baltimore, and
they called him the same build. They say he's the same body, almost the same rank, almost the same rating on all of the fucking those websites that rate players. Yeah,
listen, we got the bookend tackles, Trevor, and listen, what you didn't say about any of those destinations. Pittsburgh may have Najee, but they don't have Mike Evans and Godwin. I'm pretty sure Watson wants to, in this offense that's aggressive. You're going to put up video game numbers. You got those two receivers on the outside. Gronk might want to come back. I mean, there's rumors out there.
Don't forget, Latte. Our GM has built and drafted offensive linemen and developed them.
All day long.
I don't know if the Steelers. When was the last time the Seahawks drafted an offensive lineman that was worth a fuck?
Ainsley's going to be a beast, Trevor. I know you liked him out of Notre Dame last
year. Trevor forgets because he went to Carolina. He started fucking talking about all the barbecue and cheering for the Gerald McCoy Carolina version of the Panthers. He forgets.
Yeah. Plus the Super Bowl defense. Bro.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to get a Gerald McCoy reference in the podcast. There was. We got it.
There it was.
There it is.
Hey, for those who have the bingo card out there, make sure you check the Gerald McCoy box.
I did.
Also, I will say, if Deshaun Watson, gets through all of this, figures out his legal problems, and it's something that they're able to put behind him, and he's suspended for 8 games, I will be on the record saying it is absolutely fucking worth it. Training for him. Absolutely.
Hey,
I agree.
He may never see the field, bro. You got 8 games with Kyle Trask.
Okay.
We could be trading.
Mute him, bro.
Stop, dude.
We could be trading Deshaun next season. You never know. You never know.
Mute his ass. Trevor, moving on to some more important stuff that we saw on Twitter today. I would love to get your perspective, bro, because you understand. Listen, we're fans. We talk shit. We get loud. Sammer, sometimes gets kind of, Rain Man shit. He figures out the cap and the numbers and all the bullshit. I don't understand any of that shit.
I mean, he copies other people's shit.
All I know is
fuck you, Stank. Just because you can't do math, you think other people have to cheat.
I'm in the middle.
Bro, I'm a Jew. You think I can't do math?
I know you. You can't do math.
Oh, okay.
Nothing about you calculates anything correctly. All right.
So bad.
Watch out. Bro.
Also,
I have an abacus over here. You want me to take that shit out? I'll start adding shit up right in front of you.
That's why it doesn't work.
bad.
You're the only Jew I know
Trevor.
who can't calculate.
Trevor, we won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Then everybody's stroking our front offense and our GM and Greenberg and everybody.
I be stroking
because we returned all 22 starters. To do that, we had to kick the can down the road a little bit, Trevor. We're not in the situation that Green Bay is or the Saints. We didn't do anything irresponsible. But now, due to that, we're a little tighter on the cap, and we might lose some players.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden, everybody wants to fire the GM, and they want answers.
Of course.
And we demand why we're not re-signing our Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
Can you explain for people out there, like they're 5 years old, what the Bucs did, why it made sense, and why we're still okay?
Well, I think that it was a tough offseason because of two moves, and these are obvious ones that everyone knows about. I don't think the team thought that Brady was going to retire. I certainly did not think that Brady was going to retire. I always thought it was a 3-year plan with Brady. I think they jumped the shark winning the Super Bowl in that first year. Like, obviously, for it to happen in the first year was kind of crazy, right? Yeah. And it was a lot of things. Obviously, the team was extremely talented. You have Tom Brady. It's a little bit of luck. They were super healthy. COVID year that they navigated very, very well. Like, all of this stuff went into it, and they win a Super Bowl. And not to take anything away from them there, but I feel as though coming up short this past year allowed Tom Brady to be like, you know what? Yeah, I already got the ring. I already got it here in Tampa. I proved Bill Belichick wrong, if you will. And so I don't think anyone really thought he was going to retire. So that obviously a massive move. Losing Marpet hurts a lot. And it hurts a lot more than just the left guard spot being open. Like, this totally affects everything that they have with team building, because when you look at the offensive line now, with Marpet out at left guard, Ryan Jensen's probably moving on to get more money somewhere else. They have to bring back Alex Kappa now, but you're starting two people that are brand new to the offensive line, whether they were backups in Tampa last year, whether they're going to draft somebody, or whether they're maybe going to make a splash free agent signing if they can, a small splash because they don't have a lot of cap. You know, you think about, okay, well, how much was Donovan Smith's play boosted by maybe playing next to Marpet and Ryan Jensen, right? If there's somebody else there, does Marpet's play, or does Donovan Smith's play all of a sudden go down? And so it's like, you look at Tristan, all of a sudden you look at the offensive line and you go, damn, what happened? It's just, I felt like those two moves really hurt this team. And I think that if Brady and Marpet were obviously coming back, I think this whole situation looks a little bit different. I think that they probably operate differently. I think that they get a deal done with Chris Godwin no matter what. I think they use the franchise tag on Carlton Davis, even though I know that they weren't going to use it now that Brady was gone. And like you bring everybody you can back for another run at a title. And I think that this team in this situation looked a little bit different. Now with both of those guys gone, I mean, is Tampa in a winning window right now? I would tell you no. Certainly without a big splash at quarterback like we just talked about for the last 20 minutes. But if you look at their roster as it is right now, is it a bad roster? No, I don't think Tampa's a bad roster. And the NFC South is extremely winnable. But are they actually in a winning window with Kyle Trask or Blaine Gabbert and a brand new running back and 4 of their offensive line spots maybe not up to snuff that they were last year? Probably not. O.J. Howard might go somewhere in free agency. Gronk might not come back. Can't break tight end.
That's not a loss, though.
Don't need O.J. Howard.
Okay, but like if Gronk's not on the team,
don't ever mention O.J. Howard's name.
If Gronk's not on the team, you need a 1-2 with somebody. It can't just be Braid as tight end 1 and then nobody else.
Literally anybody else could play tight end with the BA system. We don't need anybody else. We're good.
We all know BA hates tight ends, bro.
He doesn't. He only utilized them because Gronk was here and Brady wanted to use Gronk. All right, now that they're both gone, we're not using literally. Give me Luke Stocker. We're fine. Okay, bring him back.
My point is, Trevor. I was trying to make at the very beginning was, we won the fucking Super Bowl.
That was 2 years ago.
But we're not in the situation that the Saints are. Like, we're not in fucking hell or the Green Bay. Like, we won the Super Bowl.
To answer your question,
finally,
like there shouldn't be pitchforks and torches for Jason Light and Bruce Arians and Mike Greenberg and how they've handled the situation. They built a championship team, and if Brady was still here, they would have, again, done what they needed to do to bring these players back to, again, compete for another championship with Brady. But now they're being honest about where they are. They're being honest about the roster. And right now, with the 2 quarterbacks that they have on the roster, they're not in a winning window anymore. The winning window is shut. So at that point, yeah, you're probably not going to bring Carlton Davis back, paying him as the number 1 corner in the NFL, right? And like, you're not going to make these moves because you know that, okay, we pay Carlton Davis all this money. That's great. We got him next year. Okay, well, what happens when the roster might get a little bit worse the year after that? Like, what happens when Levante David gets a little bit older? And now Levante David's like kind of getting phased out and all this. And all of this. The best general managers in the NFL are honest. That is the number 1 quality of a good GM in the NFL. They are honest with themselves, with their team, and where they are currently. Because if you don't have your young rookie contracts, your veterans that are taking up a lot of your cap, your draft strategies and your free agent strategies all pointing in the same direction, you will not compete for a Super Bowl. Your team will not be good enough. You can't be like pulling in one direction. Oh, we're getting younger in this area, but we're spending big money on these free agents and the draft. We're going best player available, but we really need to be hitting need or whatever. Everything needs to be aligned. And that only happens when your GM is honest with where they are. And I think that when Brady retired, the Bucs were forced to be honest, a lot more honest than maybe they wanted to be about where their roster was when Brady and then obviously Marpet retired. So no. They shouldn't be fired. They shouldn't be run to town. They're doing fine, and they're being honest. And I think fans are just getting a little emotional because they liked winning. And I
Jason Light didn't do any of that anyways. Tom Brady was the GM, remember?
Apparently.
And Andy called the plays, and he was the head coach, and he
caught all the passes. He handled all of it. Trevor, you mentioned Carlton Davis. The name of this fucking episode is "Can the Bucs Replace Carlton?" So now that we've finally gotten over to this part of this topic. Finally, right? All right. So let's say that the Bucs choose to use their money wisely and try to keep Jensen and Kappa, and obviously they've already tagged Chris Godwin. Whether or not he comes up with a deal or not doesn't matter. Carlton Davis is basically on his way out. Okay. I'm pretty certain that the Godwin thing will happen. But my question now is,
it has to because they're screwed in the cap if they don't. Like, if they don't sign him to a long-term deal that gives them flexibility and they keep him on that tag, they're
we have Jason Light. All right, he's the cap wizard.
No, Mike Greenberg.
Who do you think taught him?
Jason. No, you're right. Jason's great.
Trevor, what happened, and everyone on this podcast, everybody in the weight room, everybody on the NFL, you should know what happened was the Mike fucking Williams deal. That's what happened.
Yeah.
They were close to, and then Mike Williams and then Godwin's people were like, No.
It was no.
Godwin is worth more than
it
that.
was no mistake that his guys didn't sign anything before some other receiver signed something, dude.
And they have the same. Sammer, they have the same agent. Mike Williams and Godwin have the same agent.
I know. That's why I tweeted that shit out. But let's say we lose Carlton Davis, it's pretty much going to happen, right? Or he goes out there.
He's not worth $20 million.
He finds out. Oh shit, I'm not worth what I thought I was. But I always see a corner get overpaid, so it'll happen. Trevor. How do the Bucs replace Carlton Davis? 1, via free agency, and then 2, you're a fucking draft expert, so we got to know, is there somebody that the Bucs could target day 1 or day 2 that could come in, fill that void, and develop and play really well in that Todd Bowles system?
Yeah, thankfully it's a really good cornerback class, and if they're not going to pay Carlton Davis the money for him to come back in free agency, then I have a hard time thinking that they're going to be able to pay a different corner to come in, and so if they lose Carlton Davis, they might sign a couple of maybe mid-tier corners, 1 or 2, maybe to try to make
is
up
Brent
for
Grimes,
it. But
Brent Grimes still available?
Brent Grimes could still very well be available. I don't know. If somebody came to him and was like, "Hey, do you want to play next year?" He'd probably be like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
You go to Miko first. You don't go to Brian.
Yeah, you got to ask Miko before you can ask him, dude.
Miko's got to be his agent, right?
But that might be a problem because we're not going to pay him like a number 1 corner, which means he's not going to want to shadow number 1 receivers because you ain't going to pay me like that and then not have, you know what I'm saying?
Also, he doesn't like to touch wide receivers, so I don't know how well that'll work with, the blitzing one. He's like, I'd like to play 35 yards off if that's cool with you guys. Can you guys pay me like a number 1 then?
Well, you can see what Mike Smith's doing. Mike Smith's not doing anything.
If you listen, 2 fucking
Hargraves,
names you are
Hargraves
not allowed to say on this show.
Hargraves is.
Oh no, you're not allowed to say OJ Howard, and how dare you fucking say Mike Smith on this show, Trevor?
We're trying to hit all the bingo card names.
We hit all 4. We've hit all
McCoy,
4.
Hargraves,
Hargraves.
Fucking A, man.
OJ
One more,
Howard.
and this show is
OJ.
over.
Trevor, you were that. Were you? I think you were at that press conference. How many coverages was it? Was it 14?
14. I remember doing a cover 3 on Peter Report, breaking down all 14 different coverages. Now, I know a lot more about football than I did when I wrote that, so if I went back and I read that, I'd probably be like, you idiot, this was not this coverage. But I did fully break it down, and none of them worked. So, getting back to the draft, this is a really good cornerback class. So I think that even with them sitting at number 27, there's a decent chance that they could get a starting caliber kind of corner at number 27. Now, are they going to pick a corner? Who knows? Because they're probably going to have other needs, mainly along the offensive line, that they might need to fix as well. But a couple of players that I would keep my eyes and ears on. First one is Kyra Elam from the University of Florida. 6'1.5", 195 pounds, plays that long press man coverage kind of style that Carlton Davis plays. Now, he ran a 4.39 in the 40-yard dash, which I did not expect. I thought he was going to be a little bit slower than that, but anything under 4.5 was going to be great for him. He gives you that mentality. He loves playing that island man coverage. That he is the type of defender that Todd Bowles' defenses have always prioritized and drafted with the length and the speed and things like that. He is a little bit too grabby right now, especially when wide receivers are turning. He's getting his hands on guys. He's pulling them a little bit. He's drawing a couple of flags here and there. And so I wonder if that's because he flips his hips a little bit slower because he's got longer legs. That's just kind of how he's built. So he feels like he's got to kind of like latch onto him a little bit to stay in their hip pocket whenever they're breaking, mainly over the field from the sideline. So I think that's something he needs to deal with, but he has the mold of a guy who is, one, not afraid, which is important. Not afraid. He's not going to be overwhelmed in the NFL. He's got the mentality that you want. He's got the body type that you want. He's got the speed that you want. And he's kind of a Todd Bowles guy. So I think that's one player to look at. And another one that I would heavily target if I was the Bucs, Andrew Booth Jr., who is the corner from Clemson. He is awesome. He is the total package, if you ask me. He's got the arm. He's similar to Kyra Elam. He's got the size. I think he's got the height, he's got the weight, and he's got the arm length to be able to match up against number 1 wide receivers in the NFL. He's also got a ton of great athleticism. His ball skills are off the charts. He had a one-handed pick a couple of years ago, I think, that was just absolutely nasty. Now, his footwork,
ball skills.
Right. And that is something that an aggressive defense is going to prioritize, right? If you're going to bring pressure on the pocket, you better be able to go up and get the football, and you better be able to draft guys that have a mentality towards takeaways. I think Andrew Booth does. The issue with him is his footwork's a little bit sloppy. And you can even see that sometimes where he'll put his foot in the ground and he won't be balanced and he'll stumble a little bit. And it's just the footwork is not as conscious as it needs to be, whether it's in back pedal or change direction or whatever that may be. But both of those guys, I think there's reasons why they're going to be back into the first round guys instead of top of the first round guys, is because those couple of things, Kyra Elam with his hips are a little bit slow, and then Andrew Booth with his footwork. That's why they're going to last so long, but they've got the mold of guys who could start in the NFL. And so I think that those are 2 options. If they don't bring Carlton Davis back, they might be able to get one of those guys.
So you're saying we should draft a Florida Gator cornerback in the first round? Got it.
Shut your stupid face.
Got it.
Shut your fucking mouth. Now, Trevor, you know me a long time. I cut your hair a long time. You were therapy for me for a lot of those lean years.
This is true. This is true.
You know that I'm a huge draft guy, but over the last couple of years, it's been kind of weird. I just haven't really given a fuck about the draft because, we kind of won a Super Bowl. But Trev, I haven't even paid attention. You know my favorite position. I mean, whoa, pause. Position on the, football player position.
Thank you for
clarify that. Appreciate it.
I understood it completely differently than that.
I know you did. That's why I had to clarify. Usually, my favorite player football
position.
guy.
What is? Wait, hold on. Let's stop. Wait.
Running.
Trevor.
This is getting weird. This is
what
getting
is,
fucking
Trevor?
weird.
While we're here, I don't want to forget this. What is your favorite position?
No.
Tight end.
No, but Trevor, no, seriously. Everybody knows.
No.
I usually get crushes every year on a running back. Everybody in the show knows that. That's the going joke, and we never get the guy, right?
You do.
I haven't even paid attention to the running backs. I would like to know who you think is a good fit for us, number one. And number two, I have a crush. I always get a crush every year. It never happens. I hope it does. But Christian Watson would look fucking amazing as our third receiver right now.
Just bring all the Watsons. All the Watsons.
Watson!
Yeah. All right. No.
What are your thoughts on Christian Watson, and what running back do you think would fit late for us?
Yeah, Christian Watson. So Watson's not a running back. He's a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver from North Dakota State University. He is probably the biggest riser through this entire draft process. I think.
Whoa, he's the biggest what? He's the biggest what?
I think if you ask people,
interesting,
his stock as a prospect has ascended the most, Sammer.
So does mine, man. Go ahead.
If you go back to
that's
January
a good one.
1st,
Yes. Hey, you want to do something later? My stock might be rising. Might be ascending. Yep. I heard I'm gonna be a first round talent at around 10 o'clock tonight, baby. What do you think? All right, go ahead, Trevor.
Trevor's turning red, bro.
Trevor's like, God damn it.
Hey, you should see his 3-cone drill.
Oh yeah, I get it. Hey, listen, hey, I just love ball, man. I just love ball. I'm one of those guys that love ball. All right.
I got a great 10-yard split.
Yep, dude. I get handsy at times, but I get my hands on those balls absolutely every time.
Shut the fuck up. Let Trevor go, man.
I'm letting him. He won't say anything.
Yeah, it's true. He's at loss for words, bro.
Dude,
he's
come on. He said he's a great rider. What do you want me to say? I can just let that go? I can't let that go.
Okay. Stop.
Come on.
His draft stock is ascending.
Yeah, strictly professionally speaking, his draft stock is ascending. If you go back to January 1st and you ask people about Christian Watson, they'd probably tell you he was like beginning of day 3, intriguing prospect, 6'4" wide receiver, moves decently well, can block pretty well coming for that system, but that's about it. He goes to the Senior Bowl and he was basically unguardable. I watched him for all 3 days, didn't see a corner that got the best of him basically the entire week. Then he goes to the combine and again shows up 6'4", legit 6'4", 210 pounds, runs a 4.36 40-yard dash, has like a 38.5-inch vert, has an over an 11-foot broad jump, which is just insane athletic scores. And oh, by the way, from Tampa, Florida. And so he would be incredible. Like if
he blocks, Trevor, he blocks his ass off.
He does, because he comes from a system that is very run first. He doesn't have a lot of really great stats. People are going to go look at his stats at North Dakota State, and you got to realize that they run the football. That's what they do. That's entirely what their offense is built around. He did a lot of blocking, but he's got a lot of experience there, and I think he's going to be an even better wide receiver in the NFL. So, yeah, of course, if you got Mike Evans, Christian Watson, and Chris Godwin, I mean, like that's...
And Deshaun Watson. Watson for like the next 12 years?
And bring back Justin Watson, too?
Those
no,
three,
fuck
yeah.
that guy, dude. Fuck the special teams
Trevor,
nonsense. Get out of here.
Listen, we lost Leonard Fournette. We lost.
Wait, we haven't lost Leonard Fournette yet.
Fournette is gone. Listen,
we have not lost Leonard Fournette yet.
Can we be serious for a second? Like, Fournette is gone. We're not bringing him back.
I don't know about that.
So, Vaughn is on the roster. I think we have 1 or 2 running backs on the roster. We're probably finally going to fucking draft a running back. And I don't have a crush this year. And we're finally going to draft one. What's a running back you think would fit? And Christian Watson, there's no way he's making it to the 3rd round to us, right? Like that's not,
No. He's
not a thing.
If they want Christian Watson, they've got to draft him at 27. No.
Holy shit, 27?
Yeah, I think you got to draft him at 27. I don't think he's going to be available for them at the back of the 2nd round.
Well,
I know
pick,
John Ledyard put that in his most recent mock draft, I think, or maybe it was in his battle plan where he had Christian Watson going to them at the back of the 2nd round. I don't see that. I think he's going before that. I really do.
Yeah, we're not going to have a first. We're not going to have a first round.
We're not
pick
going to have a first round pick anyways.
Yeah,
there are a lot of, I would say, like mid-tier running backs that the Bucs could be interested in. I love Kyron Williams from Notre Dame. He's kind of slow, but like he's got great hands. He blocks his ass off. He's an unreal 3rd down back. Offensive lines love running behind him. I mean, like his offensive line had like unanimous praise for this dude. So did their quarterback. I got to talk to him about Kyron. He's just a smaller dude, but he packs a punch. He's the kind of football player that you want on your football team. I think he'd be great to throw in that rotation there. If they want a faster guy, Tyler Beatty from Missouri became the first running back since Jonathan Taylor in 2019 to have 4 200-yard games this past year. He kind of came into the year as a shoot. All he was the 2 years before this past season was just a pass catching back. And they'd get him in the game on like 3rd and long, and they give him the ball to be a home run threat. And then they actually gave him a feature role this past season, and he would totally thrive. James Cook, maybe make up for the fact that the Bucs probably should have picked Dalvin Cook when they had the chance to in the draft.
I like James Cook.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
I like James. They look like twins, by the way. It's scary,
dude.
Like, holy shit,
dude! They run the exact same.
They play exactly the same. They look exactly the same, and they play exactly the same. The only difference is Dalvin is 20 pounds of muscle heavier. Yeah. And, like, obviously that comes into breaking tackles. He's faster because he's got more breakaway speed. He's a little bit more elusive. Like all that comes with having 20 more pounds of muscle on you. So James Cook is just like a smaller, slender version of Dalvin Cook.
When you watch him run from the waist down,
dude, they're the same.
They do the same chopping with the thighs.
Yes.
I mean,
Same feet.
dude, it's
same
Trevor,
feet.
They are identical from the waist down.
Alabama's a running back factory. Anybody Alabama you like?
Brian Robinson Jr. isn't bad. I think that he's fine. I mean, I think he's a good back. I just think he's going to be a mid-round back, and he's going to be a rotational guy his entire career, which is, again, not the worst thing in the world. But if you're going to be a mid-round guy, I kind of want you to specialize in something. Like, I want you to have really great hands, or be really great in pass protection, or be really great as a short yardage back, or really great as a home run threat. Like, specialize in something so I can put you in a rotation and you're able to complement the rest of the guys in the room. I don't really just want an all-around mid-tier running back in rounds 4 or 5 or something at the beginning of day 3, because I can unfortunately replace that every single draft.
Trevor, the Gators running back, Pierce?
I mean, Damian Pierce is...
You guys are both Gator fans. Shut the fuck up about these Gator
okay,
players.
So what?
Listen.
Hey, I have one name for you. I have one name for you. I have one name.
Hold on. Sammer, do you know anything about Damian Pierce?
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't. I don't know anything about any UF Gator.
Which is fine.
None.
Which is fine. Okay, I want you to do a couple things after
you're
this
not.
podcast.
No, you're not coming on my show and give me homework. Next.
Go
do it.
Nope.
Go on YouTube and watch his run versus Florida State, where he gets his helmet ripped off at the 7-yard line.
Hey, I saw that live. All right, if that's the guy you're talking about, all right, I'm fine with him.
The shoulder.
Yep.
Okay. So
all right. I'm in.
Not only is that him, but go watch any interview of him ever, and he is just like
Ernest Graham 2.0.
He's the most electric. He is. He's like an Ernest Graham.
So what you're telling me is he's loose cannon's material? Is that what you're saying right now?
Dude, if you guys had Damian Pierce on this podcast, he would be a fucking ball. Like he would be an absolute.
Okay. Set it up, Trevor.
Dude.
Set it up. Get him on the show.
He loves ball. Hey, Trevor, we have a fan of ours, Zach. He loves us and all. I gotta ask this just because I know he wants to know. Is there anybody coming out of West Virginia that's worth a fucking damn in this draft?
Letty Brown, right? The running back is I think the only one that I know who's really great. I'm trying to think of the defense.
He gets a special kind of hard on when the Bucs draft or sign anybody out of West Virginia. So he wants to know is he gonna have one of those special hard-ons one of these draft nights?
They might draft Letty Brown in the mid rounds. But that's about it. Tell him that one of my first jerseys I ever had was a Steve Slayton jersey. So if he's listening to this show, that's a big shout out. Steve Slade, number 10, West Virginia, one of the first jerseys that I ever owned.
I'm pretty sure he's jerking off right now after you said that. He's watching. So.
Oh, okay, that's a little.
On to a Virginia jersey.
How you feel about that, Trevor? You just made another.
We all get excited in different ways. I mean, we're not here to judge.
Whatever gets the job done.
Exactly.
Whatever gets the job done.
As long as you're sending.
We can talk about the draft all we want. We're not gonna have any draft picks at all. Watson's coming here. We're gonna somebody maybe Tariq Cohen. I don't know. Just keep on adding free agents. Fuck them picks. Do we need that shirt too? Fuck them picks.
You can. Might be copyrighted at this point, but I don't know.
Oh, we'll get Jason Light to say it on the next time he comes.
Well, then you're just quoting it. Yeah, then it's just a quote. It's not copyright anymore.
How legendary would that be? I mean, we can make it happen.
We can just
imagine he pulls off the trade and then he fucking has a phenomenal draft in the third day, obviously, and then he comes on this show and just fucking gloats like a motherfucker. I'm like, dude, Jason,
how about buck them picks?
Hey, Nobody clipped that. Nobody fucking clipped that. Sammer, make a shirt.
No, last time I made a shirt, we did 2 different wide receivers who did not play the following game. So I think
well, you mean one stripped and walked the fuck off the field, bro?
Yeah, that happened too.
Anymore.
Yeah, and then we made the one for Grayson, and then we made the one for what's his name when he had the walk off against the Bills. I mean, it's three.
Just in case you want any confirmation,
Shirts
Trevor,
are cursed.
The good old boys are already put odds on it, and Watson is plus 300 to come to Tampa, and they are in the number 1 driver's seat. Pittsburgh's number 2 at plus 350.
Trevor
said it. He said Tampa.
Nobody wants to play for Tomlin and his "I never had a losing season" ass. All right, no one wants to play for that fucking clown. Forget it, dude. He's coming to Tampa.
Listen, do you want to be in the same division with Lamar? You know,
for the same conference,
right? The same conference. No,
why would you
come
want
here to the NFC South where it's just a giant fucking trash can?
Yeah. Why would you go to a team who's only had 3 head coaches in its entire existence and basically speaks
boring.
Fucking consistency? I mean, get the fuck out of here. Why would you want to go somewhere exciting where you could get Mercer?
Where
you might have to.
To quote one of my favorite movies, and I'm going to make Trevor feel very uncomfortable now. But listen, we're talking.
He's been uncomfortable this whole show.
We're talking as if this morally. We're talking as if this we're past this morally and legally, right? This is just a vacuum.
Obviously.
To quote one of my favorite movies, Scarface.
Doesn't exist.
Scarface, the movie, one of great movies. It's more of a comedy actually, if you actually pay attention. This division is like one big fucking pussy, just waiting to be fucked.
It's right, Pelican. Look at the Pelican. Look at the Pelican.
I would love to fuck this division. I would love it, dude. I would absolutely love it.
And on that note, we're done.
Dude, Trevor has rubbed his forehead and his face, and like he's hidden his face. He's blushed at least 3 different times. He's got extra frown lines because of this show.
Sammer, I can see
him.
Sammer, as a designer, Sammer. I mean, you're a graphic. You're amazing. You're savant.
My graphics god, some may say. Yeah.
Have you ever
try
thought,
to stay humble though?
Like in that movie, because I think about the movie. One of my favorite other lines of that movie is, I want to come out with my own line of jeans, man, so I can see my name on chicks' asses. You ever think about that?
That's a good line.
Listen, if you recall when we had the rooftop party in L.A. with with Jake Arians and his wife, his wife's tits had my name on them. If you recall that.
I remember that.
She was wearing.
What is happening here?
She was wearing the "I am the best at being humble" Samurai Ali T-shirt.
I'm out, Jake. I love you, bro.
It happened. He took a photo of this. It was real. This happened. No.
I muted myself.
This happened.
Jake, I'm texting Jake right now. I love you, bro. I had nothing to do with this.
Hey, he refused to send me that photo after that, by the way. Trevor, let these fucking...
I wonder why, bro.
Everybody in the chat, none of you fuckers have hit the like button yet. Hit the like button. Those of you who are new...
pieces of shit.
Hit that subscribe button, because this nonsense happens a lot more than you think. And, Trevor, let these beautiful people know where the fuck they can find you, where they can read and listen to all the knowledge that spews from your face.
We didn't talk about food at all, bro. What the fuck is happening here?
We've had him on here multiple times. We know
Trevor's
what kind of food
on the
he
show.
likes.
We didn't talk about food.
Fine, ask him what his favorite cereal is.
Disappointing, dude. What is your favorite cereal?
Boy.
What's up, Trevor?
You're gonna say Cookie Crisp or something stupid, aren't you?
No, it's probably peanut butter Captain Crunch. Just like
oh
OG.
God, shut the fuck up,
I
Captain
like
Crunch.
Yeah, probably OG peanut butter.
I've never had it.
It is legit, bro. I like it. I steal it from my kids.
I love peanut butter too. I love it.
My mom wouldn't let me start my day off with sugar when I was like in middle school and high school and all that. So like I never had cereal. So like
I'm with Trevor there. I'm with Trevor there.
As like a dessert almost. Like I would have cereal at night.
But you know that little fat kid on Willy Wonka, the Augustus Gloop? That was my mom and me, bro. She'd be feeding me fucking pastries and all kinds of shit. I poured sugar on cereal, bro. That's not even a lie. I used to pour sugar
cornflakes
on my cereal. And my mom would like celebrate it. Look at you, baby. Go put some sugar on
yeah,
there.
that didn't. No, so I think Latte and me are the same. We'd have to like make Frosted Flakes behind our mom's back. Yeah, no one could know that we were about to pour like half the fucking thing of sugar on our.
I had brand name cereal growing up. Holy shit!
I mean, two brown guys didn't. So
that milk at the end though was.
Oh,
it was,
dude,
bro.
that was diabetes on the way to the school bus, bro. That's what that was.
You know they like sell cereal milk now.
Cereal milk, yes they do.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, like
Wait,
you know how
what's the
like you would
difference?
like you would buy like a carton of milk, right? But they sell cereal milk now, as if it's like the end of, like you just said, like the end of the cereal. With,
They also sell bath
Fruity
water.
Pebbles,
They sell
like Fruity Pebbles milk.
Yeah, they also sell bath water, Trevor. You know that?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, yours specifically, right? You're selling it, right?
I want no part of that at all.
No, I wasn't going that route at all.
You gotta know, Trevor.
I don't know how many side
depends on
hustles
who's
you
better.
have, so I just
going-
figured that you would be into it.
How's it going in the Carolinas with the 3 sides minimum? How's that? How's it treated? Are the sides legit there? Or are you missing Tampa sides?
Yeah.
I know you're missing the chicken tender sub. It's
They have Publix in North Carolina.
They have.
They do.
They do.
Oh, I bet you it's not on sale this week because it's on sale this week. I got one today for $6.99.
Oh, come on. We're not talking about food on this. I am not in the mood to talk about food.
Hey, just because you went on some stupid starvation
why?
diet, bro.
Oh,
we don't
you're
care.
Not,
Hey,
He's on a 600 calorie a day diet. He can
It's
only-
working.
No
It's
way.
it's working.
600?
It's working, dude. Yeah.
Of course it's working.
No.
It's 600 calories.
Well, hold on. Hear
do you
me out.
mean it's
It's
working?
This is not a diet. It's a what I do is my
It's
nutritionist has me.
starvation.
Fucking starvation.
My
bro.
nutritionist has me do a metabolic reset for 30 days, where I cut out fats, sugars, carbs, oils. And
Nice way to say you're fucking starving yourself.
What
no,
is
dude,
that,
listen.
bro?
I am not hungry, but I'm not sitting here listening to you fucking talk about 3 sides minimum because I.
But you
I
look
tear up some mac and
sick,
cheese.
You
bro.
look sickly,
You
bro.
look
You
sick.
look pale.
You look fucking sick, bro.
Remember,
I don't want to
It's
say
mostly
anything
this
from my
light.
friend.
It's mostly this light and the makeup team. They kind of. I told them
You
to
need
make me
a
look
bowl
natural.
of fucking.
But he
You
didn't
need
get
a
the
bowl of
answer.
cinnamon toast crunch right
didn't
now.
answer.
Oh,
Cinnamon
you read
Toast
my
Crunch.
tweets, you motherfucker. You
I
read
did.
my
I
tweets.
did.
Cinnamon toast.
I don't like
Toast
cinnamon
Crunch
toast
is-
crunch. I don't like it because once you
What?
get more than halfway through, it gets soggy. And then
Bro,
it's-
you're Hispanic. It's basically fucking
Yeah,
churros
but
and
you
milk.
gotta eat it. You gotta eat
Hold
it. fast.
on. It doesn't get soggy if you pour a little bit of milk first, then put the cereal on top, and it has to be a specific ratio. It's got to be like 60% cereal to milk. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
If you measure your milk, you're a serial killer, bro.
I'm just
pretty
saying
sure,
it's
bro.
got to be on top so it always stays crunchy all the way through.
Was that a pun? A serial
It
killer?
kind of was actually
Was it pun?
unintentional puns.
It was.
It's my thing.
Wait. Okay, are you guys milk first and then cereal, or cereal
Ew.
first and
No,
then
I'm cereal
Milk.
first and
Cereal
after.
first.
Milk
Whoa.
first. Milk first.
You're
can't
milk
go
first?
That's-
Absolutely.
You are a serial killer, bro.
Think about it, motherfucker. You're complaining about soggy. Hey, hold on. You complain about soggy cereal, right, motherfucker? Well, check this out. Pour your milk first, then put your cereal on top, and you'll fucking thank me. I just solved your entire problem.
Trevor, it's the same shit with the toothbrush thing. You wet the toothbrush, then you put the fucking toothpaste.
Which one? Which one are you guys? Which one are you guys? Do you
again.
wet the toothbrush first, or you put toothpaste on first?
I wet the toothbrush
Wet.
first, toothpaste, then I like spot.
Yes.
Just
What?
just
Which
a
one are
little
you?
splash.
Which one are you, Stank?
I don't brush my teeth. I don't know
Okay.
what you guys talking about, bro.
Hey, I'll be honest with you guys. You guys are gonna freak out when I tell you this. No water, at all.
I can't. No, man, that's chalky as no way.
Listen,
dude.
I have
Alright, end-
I have
end
an
the show so
over
I can get
I have an
out.
over salivation thing going on. When I go to the dentist, they constantly keep that thing in my fucking mouth that's sucking shit out. So if I don't put water on my toothpaste, my mouth takes care of everything.
Hey, B Chuck with a $20 super chat. Say, what
Sam
other
got a wet
Bucs
mouth.
pod- What other Bucs pod
Damn
can
right.
you get this debate? Love you guys.
really can't.
Do I clean my toothbrush before using it? No, Cali Buck. I clean it after I use it, then I put it away properly. Why the fuck should I clean it before? Do I have like
What about all the dust that's getting on it?
Yeah,
what
bro.
dust? It's got a cover, motherfucker. What kind? You don't have a covered
You
toothbrush?
use a cover for your toothbrush?
Yes.
You just got this shit there out in the open? You ever heard of bacteria, bro?
What are you talking about? You don't have a cover on your toothbrush?
I don't have a toothbrush. I don't own a toothbrush.
I'm not talking to you, dipshit.
Oh, okay, all right.
Look how upset he gets. I brought this up, Trevor, because I knew it'd be a trigger for him. Because he was in the trenches for like a week on Twitter, like, fuck you motherfuckers, no water. You don't have to rinse it before.
Yeah. Also, I have opened up a new top to my toothbrush almost every time at times. I've done that before.
You use a new toothbrush every day?
Just the top. I have a fucking machine, dude. I don't do this like an idiot.
Oh, so you
I-
have
I-
a vibration.
What?
I stand
What's
there
wrong
like
with-
that.
Oh, I don't do this like an idiot.
Yeah.
You don't have a person that does it for you, bro? I'm
Trevor.
surprised.
Okay, Trevor, at some point, listen, we've been talking about this. Everybody in the chat's here. I want to get some tentative commitment here. We've been tinkering with this idea. You know what I'm going to talk about here, Trevor.
No.
We need to do a best football foods draft.
We talked about this
Would
already.
love for you guys, your team versus the Loose Cannons and TDN, and we'll do a draft. and we'll do I don't know how many rounds, and we'll draft the best football foods, and we're going to destroy you guys because you know that we're savants.
The fucking chat after that toothbrush shit is ridiculous.
What somebody say?
This guy says Sammer brushes his teeth with spit. Another dude says there's no water in the desert.
That's true, bro. That's probably in your DNA. You don't want to fucking waste water.
Rodzilla says so. Sammer is a spitter. Damn right, baby. Damn right.
When Sammer gets asked the question, "What 3 things would you bring to a desert island?" He says a toothbrush because he doesn't need.
I don't need the water. You're right.
No, you don't need shit.
Actually, I don't need anything. I could live off the desert, no problem.
Trevor.
Yeah, clearly with 600 calories a day.
For real.
All right, don't be. Hey, sounds like you're jealous right now. The ugly green monster of jealousy has reared its head. Clearly.
Hey, so we're doing loose cannons versus you guys versus TDA, and we're doing a best football foods draft. This is happening.
None of them there know how to eat, but Trevor.
I am in to do a food draft with you guys, some way, shape, or form. Doing so. Is it going to be like are we going to put stipulations on it? Like, is this going to be a series thing? Like, are we going to like draft barbecue food, and then are we going to draft tailgate food, and then
there definitely needs to be some rules because these motherfuckers throw beverages in with these drafts, which don't belong.
What are you talking about? You're the one that threw the beverages in with me,
No.
asshole.
Yeah, motherfucker. When you two assholes decided to do a fucking food draft without me, we ended up with bourbon versus fucking versus who was it? What is the meat? It was against a meat that should never have lost at all in the tournament. Brisket versus fucking bourbon. Like, how the fuck you put those two against each other? And brisket lost? What the fuck, man? You guys, that's what happens when you assholes do shit without me. You need somebody with a fucking brain to weigh it back down. Let's anchor this nonsense with somebody who has a fucking functioning brain.
Hey, Sammer, can you give people in the chat, because I've seen at least 6 or 7 people mention After Dark and Maria. When is the episode coming? Let's get out of here.
Next fucking week, we are going to do some After Dark nonsense.
Last week.
Yeah, but Maria got sick. Maria got sick. We have to be fucking
don't
courteous.
put a personal information out there, bro. Maybe she had
She was under the weather. She had some things going on her throat.
I think it's HIPAA, bro.
Yeah, I just fucked up HIPAA. You know what? I'll buy HIPAA. Fuck it. All right? All right. Now, before we forget.
The show couldn't get any weirder, Trevor. We're going to do an After Dark version of this.
Yeah, with a female. With a female, Trevor. So
with a female.
Yeah.
It's going to get a little wild. Listen, before we forget, Latte, we got to announce this fucking charity thing that we're going to do coming up for this golf tournament, man.
Okay, we got to make this quick.
All right, check it out. So, last year we got to go to the Arians Family Foundation fundraiser, which was a gala, and then there was a golf tournament that night. So, we want to raise some money for that event. We want to try to get to a specific goal that we're going to set. We're going to do this over the next basically 30 something days. You guys will be able to participate in that by buying raffle tickets with those donations. And the more tickets you buy, obviously, the better chance you have of winning. Latte, let these fuckers know what they win.
Oh, you want to know what you get to do. Like, what you win.
What you're getting.
In the raffle.
Yeah, big deal.
Trevor, how does it sound, Trevor, to get to go to a gala, right, where you get to dress up to the nines, you know what I'm saying, and you're sitting 2 tables from, I don't know, Bruce Arians, Jason Light, Todd Bowles, Byron Leftwich, JPP, some other players. I mean, last year Brady was there, so was Gronk. We were 2 tables from Gronk. It was insane. Yeah, I was breathing the same air as Brady. I felt better afterwards.
Brady was breathing the same air as me. But
had a great, phenomenal meal, right? Then you have Matt fucking Rogers.
Matt fucking Rogers, bro.
The thing.
One of the greatest humans on the planet.
You get to see crazy rich people, Trevor, spend like $25,000 on a pair of shoes signed by BA. Like, okay, cool. That was entertainment itself. And then you saw, Chase Rice perform. And then you wake up the next morning.
Who?
Chase Rice. It's a country singer you wouldn't know, bro. Okay.
He kind of looked like Trevor, I think.
He did a little bit. You
trying to say all white people look like, bro?
A little bit.
Wow.
No, the jawline, the hair.
The same wavy, pretentious hairdo thing. Yeah.
Can I finish explaining what we're doing?
Pretentious hairdo.
What this raffle gets you? Yeah. Then you wake up the next morning. And then we had breakfast with Bruce. You know, I went back and got extra bacon. I was like, damn.
I had a mimosa with Bruce.
I can't let Bruce outman me like this. And then Stank tried talking to Mike Allstein. He said, shut the fuck up.
He did. Mike Allstein.
He did not tell me to shut the fuck up.
He kind of gave me he kind of did mean mug me, bro. I didn't appreciate it.
Have breakfast with these same gentlemen. They have an IV bar just in case you had a little too much to drink the night before. Little Bloody Mary bar. And then you get to go golf or hang out at our hole, right? Because we have the best hole. Of which, who stopped by our whole snack? I don't remember. I think it started out with like Vinny Testaverde, then Rondé Barber, Jamel Dean, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Byron, Todd Moore, B.A., Jason
You
Light.
mean when we're playing cornhole? We're playing cornhole at our hole with Mike Evans? Yeah.
When my son was playing cornhole.
Does anybody, you can shut up. Does anybody want to be a part of this with us? Do you want to come with us?
Yeah. By the way, worth the entry itself. You get to see Jaden sing the national anthem again.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's worth the ticket in itself.
And if you buy more than one ticket, you automatically get a signed BA photo to go. I mean, and you still also get a chance to win this. So we're gonna pick one person at the end of it. It's gonna go hang out with us, enjoy this entire fucking event. It's gonna be ridiculously fun. We have a video that we're gonna drop next week or the week after that kind of shows you how crazy this actually was, because it was fucking amazing. It was just unreal. The people that we got to meet and hang out with. I mean, just meeting Rondé Barber and fucking shooting the shit with that guy was unbelievable. So we'll be doing this over the next couple of weeks.
We got Vinny Testaverde on video saying, "Come on, guys, it's blue cheese. Fuck ranch."
Yeah,
Vinny.
So that should change your mind, Trevor. If you give a fuck about Buccaneers history or anything, that should change your fucking mind. So.
No, did you notice that when Trevor talks about the Bucs, he's like they instead of we?
Yeah, you say we.
I don't even like that. I didn't like that.
I didn't like that either.
It's the pretentious hair, dude.
Hey guys, we tried. We got everyone.
Vinny's wrong. So
we got all the players and coaches. Hold on, we got all the players and coaches to nominate a player for Beck's Baby Oil winner or nominees for the next year. We try to get Todd Moore to do it. He's like,
basically he gave us the big fuck.
I'm not doing that.
No. He just said no. He just kept saying no over and over again, like extremely.
Yeah, that's why I told you we assaulted Tom Moore. He was telling us no, and we weren't listening.
Just like Trevor's not listening right now.
Let's end the show. Raffles will be coming out soon. The raffles will be coming out soon. It's for the kids.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I am the funniest guy in the show. Hey, thanks everyone. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. If you're new, we'll see you guys later. Go Bucs.
Buck Ranch, by the way, Trevor.
Wait.
Ranch.
Thank you so much, Trevor. You didn't tell anybody where they can listen to you and shit. You were interrupted.
Tampa Bay Trey is where you can find me on Twitter. I also have a podcast where we talk about the NFL draft and the NFL called NFL Stock Exchange. Go smash subscribe on it.
He doesn't need shout outs.
I like to be
Football
kind
Focus.
To our guests.
PFF, yes.
You ever heard of it, motherfuckers?
At Pro Football Focus.
Yeah. I'm gonna mute you, dude. You have interrupted our guest like 6 times a night.
I'm his hype man. He's talking. I'm hyping him up in the background.
He's really fucking dumb.
He's big hyping.
He's dumb.
The guys in the background don't get microphones louder than the guy in the front, so just shut the fuck up when our guest
So you
talks,
could turn his microphone up, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Hey, Trevor, thanks for hanging out, man. Go Bucs. Latte. Don't be grumpy anymore, man.
Fuck you, motherfuckers. Fuck
Go
all
Bucs.
of you, motherfuckers.
Go Bucs.
Welcome to Tampa Bay. We fuck 'em up when we raise the